Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. I hope you are having a great New Year's Eve. If you haven't seen my latest video, definitely watch it. I just wanted to let y'all know in the video how much I appreciate y'all. I just posted it within the hour. It's right down here, so definitely give that a watch. It's just me basically letting y'all know how much I love y'all, appreciate y'all, and the amazing journey that has been 2021 for my channel. As this will be the last obvious video of the year. A lot of growth, a lot of fun with you guys, and just y'all give me a passion. Y'all give me a platform to share my passion to all you guys. So thank y'all for everything. So in this video, we're going to continue to break down this New Year's system, and it really cranks up tomorrow. There's going to be a severe weather outbreak across areas of the Mid-South and Deep South, and then you're going to focus your attention on the snow threat, which is what we're going to talk about, which I feel like confidence has increased that it is going to snow behind this severe weather system, where I'm going to talk about in this video. But some areas further south could at least see some flurries and maybe some accumulating snow for certain areas, anywhere between Tennessee and then areas of the Virginia, places like that. So that's what we're going to break down for you guys in this video. If you guys have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button for me, like the video if you like it. I appreciate y'all's support. I'm still up in the air on chasing tomorrow, and that sounds bad, but this is going to be an event where I'm probably going to wake up around 3:30 in the morning, 4 a.m., look at the models, see what they look like, and then decide then if I'm going to chase. I'll be honest, with storm chasing, guys, especially when you don't do it for a living, and you have kids, which I do. I have two little girls that I absolutely adore, and my wife. It's hard to leave them, especially I actually haven't. My kids just got home. They've been gone since Tuesday, spending most of the week with their grandma. So it's hard to turn around and leave them when they just got back. But I'm still gonna make the call. Luckily, I have a very supportive wife who supports every decision I make. So as always, if you guys have not considered joining my channel, I just appreciate y'all considering. It's basically just a way to give monthly to my channel, and I got 5 incredible members who do that every single month, and it goes so far with the growth and trying to reach my ultimate goal of doing this for a living. So thank y'all for the amazing support, and let's get rolling here. So enhanced risk still in place, and it's a very broad area, and I have a feeling that we're going to wake up in the morning and there's going to be a very small area of a moderate risk. Tornado risk, 10% hatched area. This means that there can be a risk of stronger tornadoes above EF2. This is a big deal. This is including Memphis, Nashville, Birmingham, Little Rock, Huntsville. So, as far as the significant risk, basically all of them cities, Huntsville, Chattanooga, I don't know if I said you guys, but this is going to be a big time system that's going to introduce 2022. It really is. And the wind threat's going to be big. Hail threat will be there, but I don't think it'll be as significant. What we really watch in this system, what we really are watching here, is if you can get any kind of prefrontal storms that fire up ahead of this. If you do, then we have big time trouble, I really think. The squall line coming behind this, associated with the front, is going to be dangerous as it is. But any prefrontal systems, or storm systems, any prefrontal supercells that develop ahead of the main energy are going to be dangerous. Right now, still a moderate risk of flash flooding in all these areas in the red. This is 20 to 50% chance of flash flooding occurring of 25 miles in any given location, and I'll show you why that is here in a second. A lot of rain is going to fall in these areas as this shortwave low pressure rides this jet stream and flows over this area and trains storms over this area continuously. I also do want to mention there's been some pretty active weather in Georgia over the last couple of hours. It was actually a tornado reported in the Atlanta suburbs. Went through a Chick-fil-A. I forgot the town. Maybe somebody can comment and tell me, but I just saw it on Twitter, but I don't have the best memory out there. But these storms on radar do not look very significant, but they have a lot of rotation to them, and it dropped a brief tornado in a Chick-fil-A parking lot and flipped the car and did a little bit of damage. I haven't heard of any injuries or anything like that, but there's been a couple reports of tornadoes in Alabama and Georgia today. So I mentioned this because you got to watch these storms that are in upstate of South Carolina right at this moment. It's around 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. You know, this will definitely be raining on your parade here, bringing in the new year. So watch out. These will get into the Charlotte area here in the coming hours. So I want to watch out for that. So let's look at the system in general for off the GFS and the whole evolution of the system, the dynamic impact of this. Here we go. This low pressure, which is in response to all this energy, you've got a moist sector right here that's basically wide open, warm and moist sector going on here. You watch out for any prefrontal precipitation here as we get into tomorrow afternoon. Look at the snowstorm for Chicago, which we know is pretty much an automatic bet now. As this moves through, secondary low pressure pops off here. And I'm going to show you the Vort map here in a second as far as the energy. According to the GFS, a band of rain and snow mix begins to develop even as far south as northern Mississippi, western Tennessee. This moves more east, heavier snow into the plateau of Tennessee, maybe some snow into northern Alabama, maybe some snow in the mountains of Georgia, and then some flat out heavier significant snow probably for elevations at 3,000 feet up or higher in the southern Appalachian Mountains of Tennessee, North Carolina, and Virginia. But the biggest wild card with this, I really think, is what happens with the mid-Atlantic here. Do you have some pretty heavy snow here in Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia, maybe into North Carolina? This low pressure has continued to trend south. You go 5, 6, 7, 8. This is about 8 or 9 runs back. You back it up into the current run. Look how this low pressure has continued to trend slower, stronger, and colder. I mean, it's colder because you got high pressure dipping down. You got colder catching up with this precipitation, and you are showing this ridiculous heavy snow in the triad and triangle of North Carolina. And this is 34 degrees at the surface, but just above aloft, you have temperatures below freezing. So what you got here is basically snowflakes the size of freaking bowling balls, not literally, but snowflakes the size of $50 falling in this if this was to occur. This would be almost like a deformation band, almost like an upper level low that forms in response to this secondary low and pivots on through. This would provide a band of heavy precipitation that could bring down cold air aloft, and it could be pouring down snow in areas of Virginia and North Carolina as you're waking up Monday morning briefly, and whatever sticks and accumulates would melt very quick with daytime heating and really just the warm surface, the warm soil temps. But as it's talking about the severe weather threat, and we'll talk more about the snow threat here in a second. The latest HRRR model, which there's about to be another one that comes out within the hour. Sorry guys, my nose is running a little bit. Shows the main energy right here. Here comes the squall line coming together. Here's all this rain that's going to prop flash flooding across the southern Ohio Valley and areas of the Mid-South. And here comes the low pressure, and all this rain's going to train over each other. So watch out for flooding in Kentucky, especially in areas of Tennessee and southern Missouri and Arkansas. What you have to watch out is any of these prefrontal storms that form here in Mississippi and Alabama and in southern Tennessee. All these, every single one of them will have a chance to have some rotation with them. All of them, I'm not saying every single one of them will drop a tornado, but some of them will have a chance to prompt tornado warnings and drop some tornadoes. In fact, I know it's going to happen. I mean, it really is. You're going to get a tornado out of at least one or two of these cells that pop up ahead of this main squall line. So this is the big risk. Will you get prefrontal supercells that form ahead of the squall line associated with a cold front? That's the biggest question mark, and I think you will get some energy here. You can't have a wide open warm sector and just nothing. Now, there is some things thermodynamic-wise, like CAPE, that's actually limiting this, and such a moving, moist sector. And I really think the thermodynamics with the system that happened Wednesday was probably better, but the kinematics with this, meaning basically the upper level wind pattern, meaning things like wind chill and directional shear and things like that, are way, way higher than the system for Wednesday. So that's when you have that mixed in with pretty much favorable thermodynamics, you have the recipe for a potential tornado outbreak. So a dangerous day ahead in this area anywhere. It's hard to say what city. I got a lot of people who, and you know, it's natural to say, what's it going to do for this county? What's it going to do for this town? It's going to be a tornado in my town. Guys, if I could predict it was going to be a tornado in your town, I could be saving lives and I'd be making a lot of money, right? So it's hard to know. Just know that if you're in the Mid-South, Mississippi, Alabama, North Georgia, Tennessee. Be weather aware tomorrow. I mean, for sure. I mean, y'all know the drill around here. Y'all been doing it for days. Y'all been doing it for years, and y'all been dealing with it for decades. Y'all know the weather gets terrible. This tornado alley right here is just as bad as the one in the Midwest. So be safe tomorrow. Behind it, a powerful line of storms will move through, and this will affect Georgia into the Carolinas as we get into Sunday morning. Then look behind it. The snow's popping off here, and we'll talk about more of that here in a second. But look at the 850 low-level jet pops up here, and that's what I'm talking about with the wind energy element with this. It's going to be there. You're going to have an expansive 60 to 70 knot jet flying across Tennessee, and then you have a 50 to 60 knot jet flying over Mississippi and Alabama over this moist sector, mixed in with this Cape values. You're going to have turning in the atmosphere. Now, there's going to be limiting factors to that, but it's there, right? So as far as Cape, and I'll mention what I'm talking about maybe a limiting factor, it being Cape, you don't have a ton of convective energy tomorrow, but you have well more than enough. It's not like you have some explosive amount of Cape, but you don't normally have that in December and January. So you can see the Cape rise into this moist sector mixed in with these surface dew points that are more than adequate to promote a severe weather threat. So it's there. It's there tomorrow. As far as updraft helicity, which tells us if there's any rotating updrafts, all along the line, it's going to be a tornado threat. But as far as any prefrontal cells that form down here, like I said, any of them that form, you see these highlighted areas are going to have a chance to spin. So be safe tomorrow. As far as the NAM really just wants to make this a line of storms. It does pop up some moisture in this moist sector here, but it doesn't really have any organized supercells. It's really just a line of storms kind of threat here. So we'll see how it looks in the morning, because the morning runs are going to be huge, and a lot of times these trend into the worst case scenario in these kind of situations as far as the day of. Here comes this system. A closer look at the snow. Here comes the secondary low. Here's that snow we were just mentioning here, and look how heavy this snow potentially could be. Monday morning is going to be very interesting. Y'all know me. I'm much more of a winter weather fan. I love talking about winter weather a lot more, but this will be incredible for you guys if you guys in areas of Virginia wake up here to this kind of snowstorm. Man, I swear I had these. Okay, here we go. You look at this storm in general here, guys, as far as the energy associated with this, and I'll try to explain this the best way I can. This is basically vortice, or the piece of the southern stream and how it's connected to the northern stream. Well, in this case, it really gets detached here. If you take this right here, and you look at 12Z, this is really deepening. This is a deepening low pressure. But if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 runs ahead. So this is 2 days worth of GFS runs before the present run. Now you back it all the way up to the present. Look how this piece of energy gets more, it comes together a lot better. It gets less kind of strung out. And then it backs up southwest, which means it slows down, because when I'm doing these trends, the present time isn't moving. This is still for Monday morning. So you speed it up to the current run. Look how that piece of energy comes further to the left of your screen, or if you're looking to the right, and it comes further southwest. When you slow this down, it gets more amplified and it digs more, and it's becoming its own entity, if you will, and it's basically becoming a secondary low. And that's why you're getting an expansive precip shield showing up in the southeast and much further south. Cold air is digging in a lot more, and that's why you're seeing snow. As far as the long-range HRRR model, you'll see the snow show up in the final frame here. And if this was happening, I'll imagine you would get flurries as far south as central Mississippi, and a nice band of snow to pivot maybe in areas of Memphis, but especially Nashville, and then getting into Knoxville, into the plateau of Tennessee, and then the Appalachian Mountains. This was for Sunday afternoon. As far as the NAM, what does this look like? The NAM has trended more south and not as far north, obviously, and has a band of some snow moving through areas of the Mid-South, gets into the Appalachian Mountains, and then look at this deformation band showing up here. Low pressure's way south here. This little deformation band right here, I can't look at soundings on the NAM here on Tropical Tidbits, but You have northwest flows still snowing in the mountains as you're waking up Monday morning. But you watch out for this band here in North Carolina. There's going to be some cold air moving in aloft. Surface temperatures are not going to be there, but there's enough cold air moving in aloft that can be all snow there for areas of North Carolina. So it's a lot to watch. The GFS is a 10-to-1 ratio, so don't look here and think 7 inches in southeast Virginia and areas of Maryland and Delaware. It's not going to be a 10-to-1 ratio. It's probably, I'm just guessing, it might be like a 4-to-1 ratio. One, you got to factor in the surface temperatures will be above freezing where a lot of these areas where it's snowing, unless it snows so hard it pulls down enough cold air at the surface where temperatures get below freezing, which could definitely be the case. But one big factor is soil temperature. And yes, if it snows hard enough, it'll overcome that easily. But as far as when the snow stops, the snow will melt very quickly. I've seen it firsthand when we've had a March event back here in 2017. They're snowing very hard here in the Midlands. Piled up a little bit, a couple inches in certain areas. But I swear, 30 or 45 minutes after it stops snowing, most of it's already starting to melt off completely. And that's what happens when you got warmer, keep wanting to say sea surface temperatures, but when you have warmer soil temperatures, and that's what happens when you have 10 days straight of temperatures in the 60s and 70s and such humid air. So, I think that you guys statewide in Tennessee could certainly see a dusting off this. This is the EPS ensembles, which is a lot more bullish than it was. Shows a mean of about a half an inch for areas of Tennessee. The mountains could see, I think, several inches. And then look at this blue showing up here where this low pressure could really bomb off here. And a few inches of a mean showing up in these areas of Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, and places like that. Maybe even far southern areas of New Jersey. So interesting system for sure. As far as this is the actual National Weather Service, which shows is going to show your most realistic and conservative scenario here. But they have a good idea. Notice it's showing around 9 inches around Chicago. So you guys are going to get a good bit of snow in Chicago. But that's all I got, guys. At this point, it's just like a nowcast event, especially in regards to severe weather. You can continue to talk about the snow for a couple of days before it happens. But that's all I got, guys. My allergies are starting to kick in, so let me get off here. But y'all have a safe night. Y'all have a great end to your year. And I'll see you next year.